This month on the 11th, French writer Georges Perec once said that nothing is happening all the time. But what's happening when nothing is happening? This month, 3 people spend several days just sitting in one place, watching, listening. A cemetery in Virginia, a cafe in New York, a plaza in Mexico. It's an appreciation of stillness, wandering minds, and the power of observation. That's this month on the 11th. Find the 11th wherever you get your podcasts.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment. Smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to the BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
So last week, when Mike Vrabel was, pulling a fast one on Bill Belichick and praising his team, overdoing it, when Bill got to the podium during the week, he kind of brought it up that, Mike was being really gracious with the compliments, and he kind of used, throwing a lot of bouquets out there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It was because that's what Bill does.
No, Bill never does that going into a game.
No, he never. He doesn't, no matter how bad or how good you are, you're the best thing that ever. So I was curious. I wanted to see what he would say about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think. Listen, he's laying it on pretty thick. Here's Bill on Josh Allen.
His improvement has just been tremendous from where it was 3 years ago. Completion percentage, passer rating, decision making, production. It's just gone. It's risen at a really remarkable rate. It's just remarkable how good he has become. But he's really made tremendous improvement, and has a lot of command of the offense. They audible a lot. They change things. They obviously have a lot of confidence in him. He handles them well on the line. Where they run into a bad look or a blitz or something like that, he doesn't get fooled much by anything. It's really impressive to watch how he's developed there.
Okay, that was pretty complimentary, wasn't it?
Of course. Yeah, no, and I think, listen, Josh Allen, to me, it's really been, it's funny because I remember going into that Jacksonville loss where they lost 9-6. He was the leading candidate for MVP of this league. And you look at some of the numbers, after 7 games, he had thrown for, almost 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. After 7 games, 103 quarterback rating. And he ran for another 3. He had run for almost 300 yards at that point as well. And he was just looking at hey, he was the front runner to win MVP. The problem is, since then, in the last 4 games, his team's gone 2-2. He's got 8 touchdowns and 7 picks. And he's got a 91 quarterback rating.
Well, I would say that
the last 4 games, he hasn't been a sharp.
No, you're right. And I would say, 2020, when they finished 13-3, and he had a 69.2 completion percentage, that was holy crap. So his first year in the league, he had a 52.8% completion percentage. Then that went up to 58.8%. And we talked about this. And then it jumped to 69%. He had a 69 completion percentage. That's pretty freaking impressive.
37-10.
Yeah, and 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Right now, he's at 66 for completion percentage.
Yeah, and he ran for another 8.
Yeah. So
last year, 45 touchdowns.
I would say I don't think he's overselling it when it comes to the remarkable uptick and decision-making, the remarkable, tremendous uptick in completion percentage, ability to read defenses. Yes, I admitted I was wrong. I mean, his first year, I thought he was freaking terrible. And then that jump from his first year to his third year, just his completion percentage is remarkable. So right now, he's at 66.8%. It's about a 14% swing. But if you look at what he'll probably finish with, right now he's at 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Hell, he only had 10 last year and 37 interceptions.
So in 7 the last 4 games.
Yeah. No, he is definitely taking a dumpster fire break. But I don't think Bill is overselling it, I guess is my point. At first when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, here he goes, let's oversell it. But if you just focus on how much he's improved and the job that offensive coordinator
Brian Daboll.
I was going to say Dabble Sweeney. Brian Dabo has done. I'm wearing orange for Clemson, so it has been significant. Boy, I had to fight my way through that one, didn't I?
You made it, man.
I had to fight my way through that one. I was looking at myself on the Twitch with the orange sweatshirt, still trying to figure out what my Brooks and Dunn song is, and then trying to think about what I'm going to put in my dream journal tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, you should put Baby Yoda on top of your tree.
Looks like Kyle Hannishan spoke. Oh, crap.
The guy's good. I mean, the guy's
good.
There's no question about it.
And they'll probably end up getting 4 interceptions off him.
Well, yeah, listen, last year, it's funny because, hasn't done well against Belichick. Well, last time they played was last week in Week 15. He was 27 for 36, threw for 320 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's really good. And, of course, the first time they won 24-21, that was the Cam Newton fumble, if you remember.
Yes, in Buffalo.
11 for 18, 154 yards. He threw 1 interception. They won that football game, but he wasn't great. He only ran 10 times for 23 yards. So they've kind of bottled that part up, his running game up a little bit. So they're going to make him throw it.
So that's Bill.
Yes.
Okay, on Josh Allen. Now let's hear head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, on Mac Jones.
Josh McDaniels seems like he's, up to his old ways of developing another young quarterback at an elite level. I think Mac is off to a phenomenal start, and he's as good as advertised. There's a lot of talk out there about him, and does a great job, executing their offense. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Okay, one thing that stood out to me, I don't know if you picked up on this.
No.
Josh McDaniels up to his old ways again, developing another young quarterback. Who was the other one?
Josh McDaniels seems like he's up to his old ways of developing another young quarterback.
Who's the other one?
The next Tim Tebow.
Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
I guess
He didn't develop Brady.
I guess technically he gets credit
Jacoby
for that.
Brissett.
Again, technically, I guess he gets credit for that.
Jared Stidham.
Technically, I guess he doesn't want credit for that one. No, but
Jimmy G.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. No, so he should. So he's right. So I kind of trying to make sense of it all. But yeah, no, he's right. So they're both obviously. Listen, this is a huge game, huge test for Mac. Difficult, inclement weather, wind, rain, dildos being thrown onto the field. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, they're gonna play dodge the dildo. Rodney Harrison asked. We talked to him early today at 2:30. Asked him about Monday Night Football, how big of a game this is.
The Patriots should be able to go down there and take care of business, but we will learn a lot about this offense and Mac Jones because that environment is going to be very hostile.
You mentioned this before. We keep saying we'll see what he does next time. They keep testing Mac Jones.
And he keeps passing.
And he passes. And we'll see when he does.
What about this?
We'll see about that. But you have to admit, because I think you even mentioned it, he hasn't really played. He's played road games.
Yep.
They've been very successful, but they haven't really played in a tough environment.
No, he hasn't played in a tough environment.
LA
was
New
more
York,
New England fans. New York, nobody
Houston,
cared. The game was over early,
Atlanta,
54 points.
Team sucks.
Atlanta, nobody was at the game.
Carolina,
nobody was at the game, and you crushed them. There was no threat there. Houston, nothing. No, nobody cares.
This is a big one.
I would say this is it. And I would say if you get into some sort of I think you could get into, wouldn't call it a track meet, but I would say like a heavyweight fight, both sides exchanging blows and body blows and headshots, and who has the ability to kind of gather themselves, take their lumps, overcome a bad play, and then rise to the occasion. This is what I think this game is. This is about. Okay, we know what Josh Allen's going to do. They're going to try and throw the football, and he's going to run it a ton. And we know what the Patriots are going to do. Listen, Bronny already thinks that they're going to win this game, which I think is, I don't know about that.
This game. I don't know. This will be obviously the tough game because it is a first. We'll see. We'll see how this thing plays out. Is it okay to mention that Tre'Davious White is out and it's a big?
Why not?
It should
Kyle
help the
Duggar
Patriots.
Looks like it's going to be out.
Well, I'm just saying because when you do mention it, it's like, oh, here we go. Already setting it up. We talked about Tennessee not having any weapons, Carolina not having any weapons, Cleveland not having Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt when they played. And it's just the reality of it. Tre'Davious White being out for the rest of the year is huge for the New England Patriots. The Buffalo Bills are actually getting guys back. They're actually, even though they lost their corner, they're getting stronger. No excuses for either side. No excuses. All right, so it is interesting. I think when he said, Mac Jones, it'd be a tough test, for him. We had this debate yesterday. It kind of carried over from the day before. Where Mac Jones sits right now in the league. I think he's Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year or just Rookie of the Year in this league. I think he's going to beat out Jamar Chase. No, Jamar Chase?
Wow. Neither one of us can get a name right.
Yeah, not at all.
It's a record.
So I looked at Mike Tannenbaum put out his list. It's week 12 rankings of quarterbacks.
Okay.
And Mike Tannenbaum, as we said, he's always, every time he speaks, it's wise. You know, we have not made fun of him. I have not made fun of every single thing that he's pretty much said when it comes to certain things, when it comes to this team. But when it comes to this, if it proves my point, he's a smart man. His list, where he has Mac Jones, he has him at 13. His quarterback rankings, 13. Right behind him at 14 is Kirk Cousins, who we both agree is having a better year than Mac Jones. So technically, I think he's 14, which is exactly the number that I had him at.
You know, and here's the thing. He's got all the, you know, the popular names ahead of Mac Jones.
Like Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Like Brady, like Mahomes.
No. Lamar Jackson. Oh, yeah. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Stop assuming that Matthew Stafford is going to figure it out. Stop acting like he's like all his issues were in Detroit. He's bringing his issues to L.A.
He's hurt.
Derek Carr, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. They don't belong in front of him. They just don't. I'm not buying it at all.
Well, you got most of these guys not belonging for him because you had him at 7. I had him at 14, which is pretty much Tannenbaum has it at 13. Now he's got Kirk Cousins at 14. I would flip-flop those two and say that Mac Jones is 14, which I think is a tremendous compliment. 14th best quarterback in the NFL.
If this was 2 weeks from now,
he goes down to 36.
The Tennessee Titans are playing, and they have Julio Jones back, and they have A.J. Brown back. Ryan Tannehill goes back into the top 10. He's that much better with those guys. He's better with those guys. He's more efficient with those guys. Like now, by himself, he sucks. I mean, it's like the receiving core that the Patriots had last year. They didn't have anybody. They didn't have a tight end, or Matt Lacoste going out for passes. You know, so no, whatever. But Mike Tannenbaum is an expert. He was a former GM. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
You don't like it at all.
No, I just whatever.
Speaking of
if you ask 5 different people, they'll give you 5 different answers.
I thought this was interesting because Tyler broke this thing down. He threw some numbers out in front of us. And he compared 2021 Mac Jones to 2019 Jimmy Garoppolo. And the numbers are extremely similar. You know, and just your day-to-day numbers, your stats. You know, obviously, Garoppolo had 16 games. Mac's only at 12 so far. Completion percentage right around the same, 69 for Jimmy, 70 for Mac. The yards will probably be about the same, actually, I think. Obviously, because it's 17 games, it'll be more. Touchdowns, Jimmy Garoppolo that year, 27. And you saw the 13 interceptions. Mac right now is at 16 and 8. The numbers are very, very similar to these two guys. Do you remember we were talking about Jimmy Garoppolo in that 2019 team?
13-3.
Yep.
I went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Lost.
And if they don't win, it's going to be because of what?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Why?
Because he can't win you a game.
Yeah.
And he couldn't. He missed. Listen, he was not good in that Super Bowl. But
this is actually a stat that Wiggy should use. I don't necessarily believe it. But
as far
all
as
year
what?
long,
for what?
Jimmy Garoppolo was a passenger on that football team. That was a very good football team, and Jimmy Garoppolo was a passenger to the point where you got to that second half and you panicked because you didn't want to put it in the kid's hands. And it was his first time going to the postseason. We didn't know what he was going to look like. And if they won, it wasn't going to be because of Jimmy Garoppolo. It was going to be because of the great football team around him. And at the time, we thought Kyle Shanahan, the great coach around him. You know, and the numbers are very, very similar. And not that I think that Mac Jones is the passenger, because to be honest with you, I was defending Jimmy Garoppolo that year, saying that I didn't think he was a passenger either, just like I don't think Mac Jones is. But the consensus, especially around here, because Jimmy wasn't your quarterback anymore, was that he was a passenger on that football team, and if they don't win it, it's going to be because of him. And then the Super Bowl, we put it all on him.
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to use, I personally, I guess, you know, the Jimmy Garoppolo kind of backs you into a corner to kind of agree or disagree with, like, the Wiggy take. Now, Wiggy's take, as far as being a passenger, is just a rude way of calling a guy a game manager.
Didn't we call we said the Jimmy G, though, in 2019?
I mean, and I would say
I think I fought you and Glenn because you guys are calling him that.
No, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, thank God. Thank God. I think that would be job number one. Can you manage the game? Can you control it? The thing with Jimmy Garoppolo was that when the stakes were at their highest and they needed him to make an individual play, like of excellence, he couldn't do it. So when the situation was perfect and the play action pass worked out and the guys had separation against the receivers, he can make that throw.
But you're assuming this kid can.
Listen, even Ronnie was like, how do you know they're going to be good? No, I have faith based on what I have seen to say that the ceiling will be higher for Mac Jones. Would you say that? Would you say the ceiling is going to be higher? Like what Mac Jones can accomplish is greater than what Jimmy Garoppolo? Because Garoppolo's on his way down. They're already talking about trading him and getting rid of him. Garoppolo has already reached his peak, and now he's on the decline. Now, he'll still be a serviceable quarterback. He can start for a team. Hell, he could be a backup for another 10 years if he wants to.
Mac doesn't have that, the injury bug right now.
Well, not now.
I'm just saying, because, when Jimmy G went 5-0 when he first went over there, I thought they thought highly of him. When Jimmy G played for 16 games and took his team to a 13-3 record, I think they were pretty high on him. But what happened? He got hurt again. And it was like, God, 2 out of 4 years, we don't have this quarterback. And you start losing confidence that you can build with this guy. But I think a lot of people felt like as long as Jimmy's healthy, then he's still a very good quarterback. He doesn't have the highest ceiling in the world, but he's still a good quarterback for you.
And I also think that it's kind of asking a lot from any of these quarterbacks because there's only, so you can take Aaron Rodgers, put him in any situation, and you put the game in his hands, and he will do it on his own. He will throw everybody open. He will make all the right reads. That's how good he is. Tom Brady's the same. There's not a lot of those quarterbacks. I think they're very, very rare. So having a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo is and having him play at the level that he played at, with modest numbers, nothing groundbreaking, nothing
just
crazy. Thank God you have this. So you don't have the best quarterback to ever do it. You don't have a 3-time MVP like Aaron Rodgers. Okay, fine. What's the next best thing? These guys, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, guys that can morph and can run any offense under any circumstances. You put excellent weapons. You put a bunch of Cooper Kupps out there. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, I'm just saying, Jimmy was a guy that Bill once said that it's just seamless transition. Like he can do pretty much run the offense like Tom Brady can, essentially. Let me go to Kelly in Amherst, who says the Jimmy G Mac comparison is crazy. I'm curious why. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I think it's totally crazy for a couple of reasons. One thing, just look at the situations they were thrown into. When Jimmy G went to the Niners, they had just lost 11 out of the last 12 games. Immediately, he started winning every single game. That's not here. Also, the play on the field. Jimmy G's the laser show, baby. He's lighting it up. That first game for the Patriots, when he went deep, oh, my God, I was crying. When they say that Mac Jones is kind of a system quarterback along for the ride, they're saying that because, much like Tom Brady, he doesn't fling it deep that often. I don't like the comparison at all, man. I don't feel it.
So you think Jimmy G's better?
I think that if Jimmy G could stay healthy, he obviously has a little bit more upside. But at the end of the day, we rate these guys based on, your physical skills. But it really comes down to decision making. So I can't say Jimmy G's better at all. Right now, I couldn't see anybody who's better than Mac. I like him top 5, like Christian said.
That's my guy right there. Good call, Kelly. Excellent job.
Oh, my God.
Applause goes to you. Not having that.
You don't even have him top 5.
I have him at 8. Top 5 is ridiculous, but I like it. I like his energy.
Jeez.
I like his energy.
I actually think that Jimmy in 2019 is a very good comparison. I do. A quarterback, you're not asking to do too much, and Jimmy had some big games. He had some big games. He had 4 touchdown games.
What is Jimmy Garoppolo's biggest problem, though, overall? Was health. Like, he got hurt so many times, and they just couldn't rely on him. So then they decided, okay, we got to do better. I think Shanahan was probably so disgusted in that Super Bowl because he couldn't make the plays when they needed him to. So he got you got a great regular season record. You're 13-3. You're the starting quarterback of the Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, obviously, you may have 2 or 3 opportunities to make a game-defining play that makes the difference. He couldn't do it. I always feel like he's holding a grudge against him. Not like I have talked to anybody or anything like that in San Francisco, but I just feel like there's something to it. So then you start going, I think I can do better.
Yeah. No, I just think I think it's actually a very good comparison because even that Super Bowl year, I'm talking about Mac Jones this year and like the numbers I think since that New Orleans Saints game, right? The 1 touchdown, 3 picks. And you look at what he's done. I think the quarterback rating in his last 9 games, I know, whatever. It is what it is. After 9 games, the last 9 games, a quarterback rating of like 105. and he sort of took off ever since that game, and he's been playing real well. His last 9 games since that Saints game. And when you look at Jimmy G, he started off the first 3 games they won, but he wasn't very good. The last 13 games, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks, 103 quarterback rating. And he played well down the stretch, 69% completion percentage, 13 games. He's throwing the ball, 3,300 yards. And Mac Jones is kind of, very similar. Very similar. Look at a good football team that's got a dominant, defense. Right now, Pats have a dominant defense. I guess you look at the numbers, it is what it is. Good coaching, and it's just kind of going along.
Yeah.
And you wonder, hopefully it doesn't sort of, come to an end like Jimmy G.
So
if Jimmy G made that one throw in the Super Bowl, we'd be praising him. He missed it.
His reputation would be so different. Think about it. If he was able just to make a couple throws in that game, not only would his reputation be different, but any place, every time we became a free agent, somebody else would say, this guy has made the big throws in the big games. I'm willing to take a chance to see if he can do it again. Because if it hit once, you think he can hit again. So we missed out on that opportunity.
We had Rodney Harrison on earlier, 2:30, and I asked him, because this is something I feel like we don't look at Mac Jones as a rookie anymore, especially when we're judging him, when we're watching him play. Like this, he misses throws here and there, but every quarterback in the league does. I asked Rodney if he looks at him as a rookie anymore.
You got to keep things in perspective. Like I played with Brady, so when I compare Brady and what I see from him and his operation, I still see a rookie quarterback that has really learned and grasped the system and really embraced his teammates. And that's the thing that really stands out to me. Like his teammates believe in him, and no matter what mistake, if he makes a mistake, they continue to believe in him, pat him on his butt, hit him upside the head, and he's just a fiery guy. You kind of look at him and you say, man, this kid doesn't look like he's very competitive. That dude is fiery. He's super competitive, and he wants to win at all costs. So, they got him a special one with Mac Jones. He, like you said, he doesn't look like a rookie.
Yeah. So, I think we're past that now.
I think so too. Yeah, I don't think you look at him as a rookie anymore. When you look at him, you're not waiting for those mistakes. That's why that one series we talked about with the ball off Bourne's shin, and then the interception that almost was, where the guy dropped, and then the first down, he didn't get it. Like it was sort of like, whoa, that was a rookie moment. Like the whole sequence seemed like a rookie moment. We haven't seen any of that, really. Yeah. That was it.
And the thing to me that stands out, what stands out for rookies at any position is just the up and down roller coaster season they have as rookies. They're just not consistent. Like they'll have stretches where they play really good and there's no mistakes, and then they just get into a funk or they fall into a hole and feel like they can't do anything right.
Yeah, but
he doesn't have that. He doesn't. Yeah, so that sequence where he had 3 bad plays or goofy plays or funny plays, next thing you know, it was like it never happened.
Or even like the overthrow to Hunter Henry in the end zone. Oh, that's a rookie. No, look around the league. Go look at veteran quarterbacks. It happens.
Do the same thing. Look,
it happens.
Ryan Tannehill missed one of these guys.
It happens. Russell Wilson was doing it all night the other night. Let's go to Steve in Arlington. Steve, what's going on? With Lou and Christian.
Hey, how you doing, Lou? I just want to compliment you fielding any uncertain question that comes at you, just like you used to do with Wakefield's knuckleball. You do a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Wakefield knuckleball.
And I just want to pile on with Mac Jones. I'm very happy with him, and I think that he's a winner. He certainly proved that at the college level, which everyone discounts. But those first 6 games, he was so uncomfortable losing. You could see it. And these last 6 games, he's proved that he's a winner. And I had doubts that he might be playing cold weather. But as they said in the paper, he checked off that box as well.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
We'll see.
You're breaking up, Steve.
Thanks,
Sorry.
Steve. Yeah,
you were breaking up.
The phone is going on. I want to go to Steve. Another Steve in the car. Steve, what's going on? You got the Mac and Jimmy comparison. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the year that Jimmy G and the 49ers went to Super Bowl, if you recall, as the playoffs progressed, and I think even into the first playoff game, Shanahan did not let him throw the ball. I mean, during one playoff game, he had 13 attempts. But during the year, I think what it did to Jimmy G, I think it took a lot of confidence away, because I think he wanted him to become, like you guys talked about earlier, that game manager for the playoffs, when during the season he was, I don't know if he was slinging it, but certainly if you look at his attempts per game during the year, they were, much higher than what he averaged during the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
they were. So I don't understand. What's the point? I mean, Bill lets Mac sling it in the playoffs?
I don't know. Well, no. What I'm saying is, I think
Maybe
Jimmy G lost all his confidence that year.
Well, I don't listen, Steve. Thanks. I mean, you're referencing the AFC title game when they played Green Bay. He was 6 for 8 in that game. 6 for 8. Raheem Mostert ran for 220 yards. They ran for 282 yards in that game to beat Green Bay. Like, you don't think if Bill can run for 282 yards and win a football game, 37-20? He was up 27-0 at halftime. How much you want Jimmy to throw in the second half? Up 27-0.
No, I agree with you, and I remember what happened.
They just ran right through him in the first half. The game was over. He ain't throwing the ball in the second half.
You know, Tyler, when you brought this up on your drunken binge over the last 4 days, was your point of using Jimmy Garoppolo as, okay, now if you have a comparable like Jimmy Garoppolo, you should assume that Matt can do even better or actually win a Super Bowl? Like, what was the genesis of this?
So when I thought back to 2019, I thought that absolutely no one feared Jimmy G in that playoffs. And of course, his coach thought he couldn't even throw it. That's why he only threw it 11 and 8 times. Of course, it was a blowout game, but he didn't trust him. And I don't think defenses feared Jimmy Garoppolo that season or really in that playoffs, although he had great numbers, which the numbers actually show that Jimmy G is more or less of a check down game manager than Mac Jones currently is. So once you get into the playoffs, our defense is fearing Mac Jones the same way they did not Jimmy Garoppolo.
See, I would say that the answer would be yes. They will throw it. Like, they will throw it. I don't think if the Patriots, if the game plan is the best option to win is to throw the football down the field, they're gonna throw it. But it's almost like a last resort. Hey, we're gonna run it first. Like, even that Tennessee game, you're like, listen, the Tennessee Titans are kicking your butt. You can't run it. When are you gonna start throwing it? Like, you start throwing it. But I feel like their offense was no threat to you. Even though they're running all over the place. You figured, like, listen, we have a nice little lead. We're comfortable. We're getting all these turnovers. We don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, no. To me, I look at the comparison side. I think it's a good one. Like, people are bringing up on Twitch.
If you get that, wouldn't you be happy?
Yeah, but I'm just saying on Twitch, it's like it's a bad comparison. Jimmy's tougher. Mac is tougher. Yeah, I agree. I even said that. Like, the difference is that Jimmy Garoppolo gets broken easily. He misses a ton of football games. Mac Jones seems a lot tougher than he is, and we'll see. It's early in his career, but he seems like he could take a hit. There's no question about it. But the numbers are very similar to the year that Garoppolo had, that all year long. Listen, I was defending Garoppolo, not because he's just Italian, but I was defending him because I thought he was more. He wasn't just a passenger. I thought he was having a good year. He had some games when they asked him to throw it, and he did. But the perception was that he was the guy that was going to hold them back. It was a good team with good coach. He was the guy that was going to hold them back. And to be honest with you, I'm sorry, but I got to kind of see Mac in the playoffs because right now I might be thinking the same thing. He might be the guy that holds it back because at some point you got to sling it. We always reference the whole Billy talking about the defense.
You don't think I think that's the difference between you and I.
No, I think trust him in the postseason to sling it.
You want proof. You feel like you have to see him
Second
sling
half.
it in a playoff game.
Yeah, like
in
Brady
order
did.
to be convinced that he can do it in a real playoff game. No,
like Mahomes did.
Listen, he'll sling it on Monday night. He's going to have to. He's going to throw the freaking ball in a crazy, awesome environment with crappy weather. Great. Check the box. Moving on. Wake me when we get to the playoffs.
It'll be a good test.
You beat them. Wake me when we get to the playoffs.
It'll be a good test. No question Monday night. But Monday night is not an AFC championship game. Monday night's not a divisional playoff game. If you lose, you go home. If you lose, you don't go home. You go in the next week. You know what I mean? Or you have to bye or whatever it is. So I just think, again, it's just there's still some more boxes that need to be checked. That's all. All right, we come back. I want to dive more into this. You guys are lined up on it. We'll get more calls on this one. 617-779-7937. Mac heading into the postseason. Is it fair to compare it to Jimmy Garoppolo in 2019? We got to give a Revs update, too, because I actually watched soccer last night. I did. I watched soccer last night, and I kept hearing how great this football team was. Well, it didn't end so well. We'll get into it next.
'Tis the season for Christmas music magic, and all of your favorite holiday stations are now here with the Odyssey app.
Let it snow with songs that bring Christmas cheer wherever you go.
Warm up your home with holiday music from home entertainment devices like Roku, Chromecast, Sonos, and more.
Just look for the Odyssey app.
Want to access more stations through your car?
Try out Odyssey with Waze or Apple CarPlay. Plus, listen to your favorite Christmas radio stations on your phone with the Odyssey app.
This Christmas, your holiday favorites are all on Odyssey.
How's your mental health? I'm Listening with Dr. Christine Moutier.
Mental health is a part of all of our lives. It's something that we can learn about. We can find safe ways to get support and to really deepen our own knowledge of how do we turn that idea that mental health is just like our physical health, it's a part of our lives, into actionable strategies to actually live better and to reduce our risk for suicide.
Explore more at imlistening.org.
When information matters to you,
that local gas prices could slide by as much as 30 to 40 cents a gallon.
When it affects your family.
Abortion and the U.S. Supreme Court, what the justices are saying.
When it's happening in your neighborhood.
An explosion involving an underground electrical vault has damaged an apartment building in North
KNX
Hollywood.
is there to bring all that information to you.
Much more coming up throughout the day here on KNX.
And now KNX is on FM, so you get that information static-free. KNX News, 97.1 FM.
All right, this hour, Maloney and Forey is sponsored by Northeast Men's Health, where they're now offering sound wave therapy. Visit northeastmenshealth.com. Let's get back to these calls. I want to go to Brandon in Maine. Brandon, what's up, man? You're on with Lou and Christian.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I think Mac's comparison to Jimmy G and Tom Brady is like, he's right neck and neck. It's a neck and neck race with him and Brady. Jimmy G had 2 games started with the Patriots and instantly got injured. He's one of those guys just injury prone. It's not his fault. Nothing he can do about it. But that's just the way his career is going to go.
Well, it's interesting you say that because that's why we compare him to 2019, Jimmy, when he played 16 games.
I don't see it.
No?
I don't see it. I think Mac has less weapons and he's doing more with it.
Right now?
I think, yeah.
You think he's got? I think his weapons. I mean, we didn't even get into how good Kendrick Bourne is, but I feel like
Deebo Samuel's. You think Deebo Samuel's on it? You think he's?
I didn't
think
say
he's better than
you. No, but you're acting like. I guess the point is you're acting like Mac has chump change. I mean, he's got a bunch of good receivers. He's got a bunch of good backs. He's got a bunch of good tight ends. I mean, he's got a ton of talent at his disposal. That's what I'm saying. Well, how much they decide to use it, Brandon, I think is another story though. But let's not act like he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to.
I guess I'm not saying he doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to, but he's making the most with the opportunity. I think Jimmy G, whether it's a big moment or a big pressure game, or he just falls to injury, he just can't get it done in them big moments. And I think Matt can. And the next 2 weeks is going to show that. If he goes 2 out of 3 with the Bills and Colts games, I mean, they're going to get the number 1 seed, and he's going to show what he's capable of.
Okay. And that's why we chose 2019.
Ultimately,
to take away the injury thing. I'm just saying 2019 Jimmy G played 16 games.
Good quarterback.
I don't want Jimmy G. Okay, I didn't want him here at all. That'd be a huge mistake. Everyone that wanted him here, for the simple reason that everyone's calling in what they're saying. Because I don't want him. He is soft as puppy poop. He gets hurt, okay, and that's it. But in 2019, he was healthy for 16 games, took his team to a Super Bowl. And now this guy says Jimmy can't get it done in big games. When has Mac been in a big game?
Well,
in regular season of big games?
There's
always 2 or 3 big games in the regular season.
The farther you get into the season, obviously the bigger the games become.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen guys that have a great AFC title game and don't play well in the Super Bowl, and they say he can't win a big game. What, the AFC title game wasn't a big game?
The next big game.
The wild card game, the division game, it's a playoff game. It's not a big game, but no, it's always about that final big game. He hasn't had that big game yet. He'll have the big game. That's all. It's just that getting ahead of ourselves. We're saying that he won't collapse in a big game.
When the season is over, obviously this Bills game. Listen, the next two games against the Bills are going to be huge because you're jockeying for position. You want to get that bye. You want to try and close it out, and secure the number 1 seed. So the Bills are in your way. Hell, the Tennessee Titans are in your way.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to. Let's go to Tim, who thinks it's kind of accurate, this comparison. Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, fellas. I think the 2019 Jimmy G is an excellent comparison. Kendrick Bourne was on that 2019 San Fran team, so he has similar weapons. And the biggest thing for me is that offense was their third down conversion rate. San Fran was about 45% that year, and New England right now is about 45%. So it's extremely similar for that season of 2019. I think you're spot on with the comparison between Jimmy G and Mac.
And you'd be happy with that. That's a win, right? I mean, and I would say
Jimmy's weapons were better.
Mac is better.
Mac
is better.
Kendrick Bourne was there, but Kendrick Bourne was just a piece.
He wasn't Kendrick Bourne yet.
I mean, Emmanuel Sanders, was there. I think was that the year they traded for Emmanuel Sanders, and you got Mohamed Sanu?
Yeah, George Kittle in his prime.
George Kittle and a young Debo Samuel.
And who was their back? Their back wasn't Mostert. Was it?
Yeah,
and Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah. Oh, that's
they
right.
had Coleman, Breida. They used like all three of these guys.
Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, no,
speedster.
they had better weapons than you. I'm just talking about the quarterback itself. The year he had, the year was pretty similar to what's going on right now. Go ahead, Joe. What's going on?
Hey, Lou, Christian.
Yo.
Love the show. You guys are great. The comparison to Jimmy G is absolutely absurd. Jimmy G had 4 years under Belichick, under Brady, and what he was able to produce doesn't even equate to what Mac's doing on the fly right now. Mac in 4 years may be a good comparison, but right now it's going to be even better than in 4 years from now. You're comparing Jimmy G at 4 years under Brady and Belichick to on the fly.
No, I'm comparing Jimmy G's play. And nothing to do with. I'm just talking about the year he had in 2019. We played 16 games. The way he played. That's not similar to what Mac's doing right now, which is a compliment to Mac because it's his first year and it was Jimmy's fourth.
It's more than a compliment to Mac. Mac is doing so much better because
he's not.
Jimmy G had 4 years under Brady and Belichick. What are you talking about?
No, he had more experience, but listen, they had more experience, but the year's kind of similar. Joe, the year's very similar.
I'm saying Mac is all that much better. We're agreeing that it's very complimentary of what Mac's doing. But what I'm saying is that it's incredible what Mac's doing because Jimmy G had 4 years to learn under Brady and Belichick.
I would agree.
But
it seems like you're holding that against the year Garoppolo had. The fact that that Mac Jones, and thanks for the call, is having a very similar year in very similar situations as Jimmy Garoppolo had in 2019. Given that Garoppolo's already in the league for 4 years, is a compliment to Mac. But when you look at those two seasons and you put them next to each other and you put them on the teams that they're on and how those teams are built, their situations are very similar. I think very similar. Let's go to Jake in Rhode Island. Jake, what's going on?
Hey, guys. I think you hit on it perfectly earlier, Lou, especially with Jimmy in the run game. If the Niners, I watched every game that year. They ran the ball for 200 yards a game. Why on earth would Jimmy be throwing the ball 30 times when you're asking him? He doesn't need to do that. Jimmy didn't need to win those games. The running team did, and that's what the Patriots are doing now with Stevenson and Harris.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Jay, it's like people are just they're looking at this one game, against the Green Bay Packers when Jimmy threw the ball 8 times, but they ran for 283 yards, and they were up 27-0 at halftime. So it's like, and Aaron Rodgers threw 2 picks. It was a disaster. If the Patriots are up 27-0 at halftime, how many times do you think how many times do you think Mac's going to throw in the second half? Up 27-0 in the first half at halftime. How many pass attempts do you think he makes in the second half?
We're going to limit it until only when necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
So it's like, dude, they only threw 8 times. And it's,
they didn't have
he was up 27-0 at halftime. Why the hell would you throw the football? All right, whatever. We'll see if it's a good conversation. I think it is I think it's a good comparison to those two. But let's get the last call. We got that coming up. That's next.
It's the story that's affecting us all in Southern California.
First case of Omicron COVID-19 variant here in the state of California.
Around the country.
And continuing in-depth team coverage on the U.S. reaction to the Omicron.
And around the globe.
Can now add France to the list.
To stay up to date on the latest with the coronavirus, stay connected to KNX on 97.1 FM. 97.1 FM is the new home for Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. KNX News, 97.1 FM.
By the way, we put a poll out at Merlone Fourier on Twitter. Better quarterback, 2019 Garoppolo versus 2021 Mac Jones. This might shock you, but 85% of our people who voted on this believe Mac Jones is having a better year. So, even though statistically it's actually Jimmy G. But that's okay.
There's a national love affair with the Patriots and Mac Jones right now that I haven't seen in a while.
Speaking of that, how about this from Darren Rovell? Patriots quarterback Mac Jones has filed a trademark MJ10 through trademark attorney Darren Heitner. Trademarking MJ10.
What is he going to be selling?
Clothes? I don't know, hats?
Tennis gear?
Is everybody just like the TB12, the JE11, the MJ10?
Right. MJ10.
Yeah.
Can somebody else get a little bit more creative? Does everyone just, really, you're right. TB12, JE11, MJ10, so it's Mac. What's his middle name? Jorkel? McCorkle. Where's the J come from? Jones.
How about
where does the J come
from? Is MJ9 coming next?
CF88.
MJ9. Matt Judon.
I'm just feeling like I feel like he can get a little bit like Mac 10. How about that?
We were thinking about like what else would you trademark?
Well, you can't do
apparently
Mac
10's a gun.
It is a gun.
But it's also a rapper, isn't it? Is there a rapper named Mac 10? We know it's not. So we know we're not talking about a gun called Mac 10.
So it's a gun and a rapper. So that's two things that he can't trademark because there are already things that are most likely trademarked.
Mac 10-ish. How about that?
Maction?
Maction is good.
I like Maction.
Maction is. That's better.
Mac and cheese. Pretty sure it's trademarked.
Mac Daddy.
Mac, no, definitely trademarked. Mac, Macaholic. How about that one, huh? Right off the top.
Can we trademark? What does the J stand for?
Maction. I like Maction.
I think there's already
MJ10
some T-shirts with the name Maction on it.
For Rizzle?
For Rizzle, yes.
Well, I just thought it was.
Ooh, I get that.
What do you got? No, so yeah, MJ10. That's what we.
What do you think he's going to be selling? Is it just going to be? Is this going to be gear?
T-shirts, gear.
Right? Is that going to be no cookbooks?
Beanies, hats,
beanies,
pants,
really?
Shoes, shocks.
Where's he from?
Socks, sweaters.
He's already a spokesman for that No Bull apparel, right? Shoes and
His
like
clothing
CrossFit
brand, correct,
stuff.
yep.
That's not his clothing brand.
Oh, it's
right?
not?
No, he's just a spokesman for it because nothing says in shape than a shirtless Mac Jones. Right, I want to be like that guy, Daddy.
He makes people like me
no
think
abs.
that we could, be as in good shape as any pro athlete.
Every guy.
By the way, what do you think about baseball in Vegas?
Love it.
Apparently,
love it.
This the Oakland Athletics are looking at the Tropicana in Las Vegas to build a stadium.
So are they going to implode
It's
the
owned
old
by
Tropicana
Bally's.
and build a stadium for the Oakland A's?
I get other sites under consideration are owned by Wynn and Caesars.
I think it's fantastic. You're going to have a hockey team, a football team, and a baseball team.
I think
you just need a basketball team.
I think
now.
it's a disaster.
Why?
I don't think
it's going to be
baseball
domed.
would work.
Why?
Because it's too many games.
Wait, so it will work in Oakland, but it wouldn't. Why wouldn't it work?
Because it's Vegas. I don't
So
know.
what?
I just feel
Vegas.
like
Hold on, wait a second. The city that never sleeps.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah.
All
so I guess
night.
that's good for 4-hour games. So they can go out after the games.
No.
I just feel like Sunday it's like an event. We'll go there for the weekend. We'll go to the game, whatever. And so I don't know. Hockey, it's just a couple
What about
times a week.
industry night? One of the people
Every
from the industry.
single night. Like, hey, you want to go to the game tonight? No. I'm in Vegas. I don't want to go to the game for again. I played AAA.
So
in
you'd rather
Vegas.
see Britney Spears and then the Oakland A's
It was
play
like
on the Red
5-cent
Sox?
beers, and there was like 20 college kids there. That's about it.
Listen,
Sucked.
it'll be better than anything Tampa will ever see.
Well, this is true. I would admit with that. They got to go to Montreal. All right, let's do last call. Last call brought to you by Cars for Kids. The easy way to donate your car. You can donate today, and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or give them a call at 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. I couldn't believe this was a year ago. But a year ago tonight, you remember the Mike Tyson-Roy Jones Jr. fight?
Oh,
I
y'all
believe it
must
was?
have forgot then.
On the undercard.
Yes.
It was Jake Paul. Is that the right Paul?
Yeah.
Versus Nate Robinson.
This was the beginning of the illustrious Jake Paul boxing.
Yeah, all the boxing. Yeah, versus Nate Robinson. And you remember Snoop Dogg was on the call for this fight? It's fantastic.
You eventually. Yeah, make him think. There you go. Feint, step. Oh, there's a feint from Jake. Oh, caught him. Oh, my God. Down. Lord have mercy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
Snoop, talk about dropping it like it's hot.
Take my hand.
Holy God, up.
Lead me on. Let me stand.
Wow, nothing funny about what's happening with Nate Robinson, but Snoop Dogg is singing the hymns. He's trying to get Robinson. Oh, Lord. Mamma mia, the problem child proven to be.
I love that.
How about the other guy? I don't know who the other guy was. He's like, hey, Snoop, talk about dropping it like it's hot.
I believe that was Mauro Riallo, who has done enough of these to, he's going to screw around with these.
That was fantastic, though. I kind of liked it.
And this is when Ryan took that sound and put it under put it on a game, and I actually thought Snoop was calling a football game.
So this was last year. It was the Patriots and the Chargers, and of course Cam Newton could not execute on I believe it was a screen pass, and it got run back for a pick six. So I took that commentary and combined it with Snoop Dogg and fooled the hell out of Christian Fourier.
Newton play action. He's got Brock.
Oh, my God.
Newton is down by Donald.
Lord have mercy.
Newton is brought down from behind.
Oh, Jesus.
Newton.
Oh, Lord.
Now able to pull the trigger. Second down. Newton trying to set up a screen. He's picked. Flipping it like it's on. Kenny Young on the pick. He's still going. Inside the Patriots 20.
Lead me on.
Breaking free with a late blocker.
Let me stand.
An 80-yard pick six.
Snoop Dogg is singing the hymns.
And just like that, it's 16-0 Rams.
Oh, Lord.
And you're like, wait, when did Snoop call a football game?
Yeah, when did Snoop call a game with Joe Buck? Never.
Never
no,
happened. I
I
thought it was like like the Manning cast.
It's close.
Like they were doing their own version of the game, and then they.
It's close.
Whatever.
I got to get home and put some white lights in this tree.
Okay.
I got to kind of.
You got to do it. Yeah,
I got to do some things. Then we can put some ornaments
I
on it.
don't know anybody that's ever taken 3 days to put a Christmas tree up.
Well,
It's
listen,
impressive.
if you had some light issues like I did, you would have definitely taken 2 nights to do it,
I
which
guess
is
so.
what it's taken for me. Now, third night, I'm going to finish it off. We'll top it off. We'll be ready to go.
What's next?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. What we got tomorrow?
What's next? We got Bruins Thursday.
We got Bruins Thursday. Andy Fart will be joining us.
Correct, 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
And then
Jack Edwards at 4.
And Jack at 4. So we'll get rid of Andy. We'll bring in Jack, and we'll rock and roll. We'll figure that whole thing out.
Okay.
All right, listen, you guys have a great night. We will talk to you tomorrow at 2.
Prepare yourself for the future of nursing with an advanced degree from Gonzaga University. Gain the skills to take on a leadership role or become a nurse practitioner through our online MSN and DNP programs. Gonzaga graduates are known as practice-ready, influential thinkers who are rigorously trained to provide the highest quality patient care. Visit gonzaga.edu/graduate nursing to learn how Gonzaga can help you achieve your goals. That's gonzaga.edu/graduate nursing.
When information matters to you,
That local gas prices could slide by as much as 30 to 40 cents a gallon.
when it affects your family,
Abortion and the U.S. Supreme Court, what the justices are saying.
when it's happening in your
An
neighborhood.
explosion involving an underground electrical vault has damaged an apartment building in North
KNX is
Hollywood.
there to bring all that information to you.
Much more coming up throughout the day here on KNX.
And now KNX is on FM, so you get that information static-free. KNX News, 97.1 FM.